If I was a drunkard, I'd tell you what I'd do. I'd quit my drinking and I'd work on a building too.
I'm working on a
building.
I'm working on a
Building.
I'm working on a
Building for my Lord, for my Lord.
It's a Holy Ghost building. It's a Holy Ghost
Building.
It's a Holy Ghost
Building for my Lord, for my Lord.
Some places you feel higher, like with God, and like higher points or places. And for me, ASP is one of those higher places because I feel like I can connect with God through my crew and the homeowners and my leaders. It just really helps you get a perspective on other people's lives and how you can like help them be happier and through God. And I know that my house owners, they were very genuine and they told us how much they were appreciative like every day.
It's this wonderful, extremely busy, sometimes very stressful, exhausting, tangible way to be the hands and feet of Christ.
It helps you get closer to families and stuff, and because you're helping them, but also it makes you realize that you need to be more grateful for the life that you have and that you need to not take everything for granted.
There's something special about ASP that you can't really explain unless you go on it. Like getting away from our daily lives and getting away from where we come from and our home and going somewhere else and helping other people, giving back. There's a feeling that comes with it that you never understand unless you go on it.
Every year, I'm always expecting the same thing, but it's always something different. Every year, like the churches change that is at the center. The family, sometimes you have a good experience, sometimes you have a bad experience, but you always come out with something positive.
It gives you a chance to meet new people and to let God use me to help make those people's homes safer, warmer, and drier, and form relationships that last a lifetime.
God is speaking to us. He's sending us to do His work.
To get 1 week out of their life, out of their summer, to come here when they didn't have to. God is speaking to them to come, you know, and they just feel it's the right thing to do, and it's fun.
I know in 1996, on my first trip, that is where I learned what it truly meant to serve another person and to truly be able to share God's love in that way. Not everyone can share the gospel, not everyone has that in them. So this is an opportunity to share God's love in a different way that some people like myself are much more comfortable doing by being God's hands and feet.
I like ASP because you can get away for a week. It's where you come and you don't have to worry about anything at home. You come and you just worry about someone else's life and you put their problems in your hands and you can just do whatever you can for this person and just forget everything that's going on at home. And it's kind of like a free week, like a carefree week for you. I really like to see the impact that I put on other people's lives too.
It gives us an opportunity to see into someone else's daily life and see the struggles they go through and how we can like have an impact on them.
I thought the work was going to be a lot harder the way you put it, but I was capable of doing more than I thought. Go even though you don't want to, because you might get a lot out of it and you might enjoy it, and you will make friends and have a good time.
It teaches me to hold on to special moments, especially while you have them. I always avoid trying to have these special moments because I don't like letting them go because they go away so fast. But ASP taught me you have to grasp them while you have them in your palm of your hand.
I feel like us kids get to see the real world, and we're all kind of sheltered from that, from where we all live. And it gives us a chance to give back. And I think it shows us how we can help the real world, and how we can all make a difference through God's love and power.
It has always been Been a struggle to convince people that this is about more than construction, that it is really a relational ministry.
I thought it was just mostly about coming together, you know, like we are, and learning life skills to help you on the road and be closer to God. And all those are right, but the relationships you have that I didn't really see before, that I see now, I didn't realize how close I could come to a family from just a week.
It doesn't just teach you how to fix a roof, it teaches you to make relationships with people like the homeowners and the teammates and people in the center.
I came on my first youth trip to ASP and not knowing anyone, and to see how far I have grown since that first ASP trip, and to see all the relationships I've formed and all the new things I've learned through all these years is really amazing to me.
People that you just met, you feel like you've known for years. And it's just kind of that relationship that you form with almost everybody, and how you build stronger relationships with people you thought you knew, and how they'll come out and tell you some really personal story, and you immediately feel like you've known them your entire life, and they're like a brother or a sister to you.
When I come on ASP, I come to build friendships, relationships with others, and just build relationships with the families that we help out. Doing all that and seeing the look on their eyes, in their eyes at the end of the week, just means the most to me, because you know that you helped them out and that you're doing something special for them, and they're very thankful for it.
I feel like the kids that have been on my team would call Whitney and I now with any problems that they had, would feel more comfortable doing that.
It's fun and you get to build relationships with people. Before, I didn't really have a relationship with a bunch of people. And now I have like a really meaningful relationship. And I have a relationship with a bunch of people that are good people and they're nice, and I wouldn't have met them like that any other way.
I enjoy coming because I get to hang out with such awesome kids. Each year I learned so much from their positive outlook, from their ability to appreciate the small moments. They don't realize how much they give to us as leaders, especially someone that I've come so many years, and every year there's just a new blessing in disguise.
I feel like it's a time that we get to spend strengthening relationships that we already have and making new relationships with other people. And this week we had a family, well, I had a family that didn't really come out on the first day, and the second day we were there, right before we left, they all came out and introduced themselves and really spent time with us, and they told us how much they really appreciated what we were doing and that it was all through God's Word.
My very first year on ASP, I got back to the center the first night, and I was sitting down in the hallway, and this little bitty girl came up and sat down across from me. And she'd been soaking wet. She was sitting there shivering. I said, "You cold?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Are you tired?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "You hungry?" She said, "Yeah." And I sat there for a minute thinking about it, and I said, "You coming back and doing it again next year?" She looked me right square in the eye, and she said, "Yes, Daddy, I am."
It gives me the opportunity to give back and to help others, and it really puts everything in perspective for me of how fortunate I really am, and us as a church just really grow in this one short week, from spending, like, from the time we wake up to the time we go to bed together. You're always with someone, you're always like forming more new relationships and making relationships you already have stronger, and it's great for the church, it's great for the family that you're helping, and it's a great experience.
ASP is important to me because I get to come back home to help those that are less fortunate than I was. Growing up, my grandmother, she never really had a really nice place. She had to move and move and move for certain situations. I remember sleeping 3 or 4 in a bed. I remember her hanging quilts over the door frames because there was no doors. So for me to come back to give, to help the best I can, do a deck, do underpinning, siding, that kind of fulfills what I missed out on being able to do when I was younger.
I think ASP is important because it brings joy back to broken homes that were not in the best of shape before some people from ASP came and fixed them for a family they'd never met before in their lives.
I keep coming back because I love it. It's awesome. It's a life-changing experience knowing that I changed somebody's life, helped them out, put a toilet in their bathroom. Those memories last forever. I'm glad I went my first time because I can think about ASP and know that I've done something good.
I thought that I was going to be busy with work the whole day, like hammering and doing all this stuff that I had no idea about. But whenever I got there, I saw this 4-year-old girl who is very high energy, and I realized everybody was working and there was a lot of like power tools around, and it was not safe for her to be inside, and so I had to kind of steer her away. So I asked Chris if I could use the old boxes, and we went outside and I built her a fort, and we named it Carly's Castle. And I realized that she didn't know what a letter was, and she didn't know she knew her ABCs, like the song, she knew half of it. So I took her inside of the fort. I did the connect the dot letters with the alphabet, and I taught her her name, and I taught her how to write all the letters throughout the alphabet, and she has the song throughout the whole thing down pat.
Our lady her name was Tanya, and she was in her later 30s, I think. And she opened up to us really quick about 30 minutes in and told us literally her life story. And just the fact that she trusted us with her entire story just really made me feel wanted from her. One day I was over there and I was cutting wood for the porch that we were building her. And I needed somebody to help me hold a chalk line and help me use the measuring tape to measure it. And nobody was around because everybody was busy that day. So she just was sitting down over there and she's like, "Do you need help?" And I was like, "Well, if you want to come over here, you can." And she just got up, came over there, and literally every time she helped me measure every board. And there was about 12 boards. And she helped me measure every board. She didn't have to do that. 15
years, I still get surprises. Like, she spent so much time with us, and she had lunch with us every day, and she wrote us a really sweet note at the end of the week. So I was truly blessed to still have surprises, to still have something different each year, and it's not just the same.
There was like 8 people that lived in our houses, but the homeowner, Jeremiah, where we were working at, it was super muddy, and like it was like 6 inches of mud, or 4 to 6 inches of mud, and like it would pour rain and mud would get everywhere. And he came outside one day and he asked me, he says, what size shoes do you wear? And I said, a 7 or 8. And he said, okay. And he just went on and walked back in the house, and then he came out with a size 13 pair of boots. And he said, "These should work for you, fine." And I looked at him, I thought it was a joke at first, but then he was serious. I don't know, it's just kind of cool because the saying, somebody will give you the shirt off their own back before they help themselves, really came to life, and I got to see it happen.
Teddy has had a lot of medical issues, and he just recently got over a stroke, but he's lost his speech. But he can still sing perfectly fine, no stutter or anything like that. And we've been talking through the week and telling me that he was going to sing stuff for us. So finally today, walking by, we're just normal routine, putting up siding and everything. And he always sits out there on his front porch in his little chair watching the hummingbirds that he has. And I walk by and he's like, "Just got done tuning up the electric for you. Be ready." And then, so I'm all right, I'm sitting there, I'm working. Then I hear it start playing. And all of a sudden it's Hotel California. And like, the way he talks, when he originally talks, is a stutter, and it's not bad, but it's hard to understand sometimes, and he speaks soft. when he was singing just fine, no stutter, perfect, loud tone. It was great.
Today, he broke out his electric guitar. And this is a 76-year-old man, and he is an electric guitar, and that is so cool. And he just stutters like all the time because of his stroke. But when he sang and when he was praying and anointing us for like safety, he didn't stutter one time, and I just think like that's amazing. And he gives all the glory to God. It really like tells me that I need to like understand like why his faith is so strong, and it's because he realizes that God's been working in his life.
ASP really shows you how fortunate and grateful that you really should be, or if you are, it just makes you see a whole different perspective of things. When you're out on the site, it's just eye-opening to see what other people's conditions are like when you go back home and you have a warm bed and heat and electricity. I'm always worried about, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to go play with my friends? Some people are worried about the water damage that's coming through the roof, or just any problem that they have with their house, and that's pretty stressful.
But it also allows me to have the time to share God's love with them and show them kind of who God is. And actually, Claire and I had a chance to do that our first day on the site when our little girl was talking about a kitten that had passed away recently in the week, and we got to teach her what heaven was, and we had to kind of explain it through the eyes of a child.
Jesse and Irvin taught me a little bit about contentment because they have so very little. Irvin has not been off his porch for 15 years. He says he needs nothing outside of his holler. Funny couple, they were a lot of fun to talk to, but they're perfectly content. They're very appreciative of everything that we've done. Just really enjoyable, but they're perfectly happy.
We had an unusual thing in that we were working on the same site with another church, and I was a little leery about that at first. It turned out to be such a blessing. They were really great team from a really great church, and the thing I enjoyed about this church was that they take ASP, and you can tell they take their youth group very seriously, just like we do.
To the people of the church that have supported us for a long time, thank you. To the people that that pray for us and that show up to the commissioning service and pray for us before we leave, that are there when we return and help us unpack vans. Thank you for your money, for your prayers, for your support. Thank you to the people that have donated 6 and 8 times because a kid asked you. Thank you for teaching them that that people want to help them, and that people want to support them, and that they want to see you do good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you! You guys are an awesome group. Thank you so much for the week. We're going to miss you so much, and we'll see you guys next year.
Have a great summer.
Come back next year.
That means stop it. That means hit the stop button.
I have a blister.
So I'm this tall, right? Well, this one was that tall. So this was me all day.
Do not. What are you doing?
Can I do an opening?
No.
Can I like paper?
Do not spend.
And then light.
Hello. Welcome to ASP 2000.
All right, this is really important, okay? And this is
God's love with them.
All right, just calm down.
You best.
It was awesome. I have Connor Ware on my team.
you're not smiling.
What is
Because you are beautiful.
I want that smile.
You're cute when you smile. Use that scowl when you're around the boys, but you're cute with that smile.
It's okay. I edit things out. So I'm going to stop it right there where you left off. I'm going to pick right back up for you.
Yes.
It was great. It was great.
This chair is sweaty.
Yep. Sorry.
Ugh. How much is it? Are you getting legs in this? Sorry.
Okay. I will.
Have you sat in this?
No, I've not.
Like, it's
that camera. It's just making
it's moist.
At the beginning, I wasn't really excited to have Connor on my team.
So I was kind of mad when I found out Connor was going to be
I have asthma because they're kind of big. Look. ASP is important because it doesn't just teach you how to screw in a nail.
Say something to the camera.
Hey guys.
It's almost like a
Winnie and Rob are the best.
And listen, I sit back when I'm brand new invention, something grabs a hold of me tightly, flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Would it ever stop? No, I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow to the extreme. Rock a mic like a vandal, light up the stage, rock the jump like a candle, dance. I watch the speakers that booms. I'm killing the brain like a poisonous mushroom, deadly. When I play a dope melody, anything less than the best is a felony. Love it or leave it, you better can't wait. You better hit bullseye, the kid don't play. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it.